And good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's edition of the Cloister of the Dice. Tonight, prepare your giant robots because we're ready to stomp our way into the world of Robotech. It's going to be a fun night tonight. Of course, I'm your MC behind the scenes. I'm John. Of course, we're joined by our DM, Mildred the Monk, and our players, Lady K, Nephadora Frolin, Xanadrix Zadare. Folks, how we doing today?
Yeah, doing good. Since it rained again today, I don't have to water my plants. I just came off doing an interview where I got an excuse to talk about Conan for an hour, and talk about how the Momoa version gets more shit than it deserves, and I will stand by that. I'm not saying it's a good movie, but it felt more like those fantasy exploitation movies of the '80s. But
honestly, I think the Weird Al version deserves more credit than it gets.
yeah, but people love Conan the Librarian. What are you talking about?
Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
Although, if another film is made, it'd be a nice little bait and switch to say that it's Jason Momoa doing it, then pull a plot twist at the end and it's actually Roman Reigns.
Oh my god!
Which he is more than aware of these similarities. And I think somebody said that to him at a house show once, and he said, "The Aquaman 2 might have done better if I was in it."
Yeah.
No, Aquaman would have done better if somebody wasn't in it, and we all know who I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to name names here. We all know.
We won't discuss that. That's just low hanging fruit.
No, that's not low hanging fruit. That's on the ground and rotting.
No, that's on the bed and rotting.
No, that's just someone shit the bed.
God damn it!
You knew that was coming.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta say this because I walked into that like a rake.
Yeah, pretty much. But since this is a brand new season, I do need to set the stage a little bit for those who came in late. If you watched the old Fandom serials, you'll get that joke. For those lore aficionados, this is taking place during the second Robotech War, the time frame that was used in the cartoon to using Southern Cross with that three-way Frankenstein that was done that we've talked about last time. This is in the tail end. This is about over a decade after the Zentradi's reign of death that wrecked a large amount of the planet.
Yep.
To the point where a lot of places are going to look more like the 19th century than anything closer to the 21st century. And while a lot of places have recovered, you got places like Neo Tokyo where we will be starting, or plenty of other places that have some proper cities. A lot of places are borderline feudalistic city states, and places that were tourist traps had to vastly adjust or were just abandoned, simply because a lot of infrastructure was pretty much wiped out. The reign of death was an apocalypse. And then to make things even worse, the Robotech Masters came along to start even more shit, and thus we have the second Robotech War. That war has been going on for about a year now, and it's to the point where a lot of places have to consolidate their forces. That it's through that consolidation that you have the unit that you guys have been assigned to, the Hannibal group. That is where our story begins. Now, at the start of this, you all have been assigned to investigate a disturbance at a Robotech research laboratory within Neo Tokyo. And while you're all properly kitted out, um, there's a bit of time for you to get to know each other since you're sitting in an elevator.
Gia turns to the rest of these intrepid explorers and wonderful people. I'll have you know, everything we do to save Earth. There's nothing that can stand in our way. All we have to do is make sure that those Robotech masters know that humans can't be messed with. I'll be counting on each and every one of you with this operation.
At which point, David pipes up, "Rest assured, my friend. If we work together on this, there isn't a force on Earth that can stop us. We'll make this work."
Good. Good. My name? I am First Lieutenant Shia Jedeg, also known as Leo von the Lionheart. You may have heard of me, you may not have. But it's good to meet you all.
I speak up again. David Carswell. I've faced many wars in my time. I know the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and I know what it takes to make a good unit. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do, my friend. Hopefully, we can have some fun together.
It's good to meet you. We'll be standing on your assuredly broad combat experience. You'll be able to fill in all the blanks I don't have, man.
That's how it should be.
She kind of looks at the other two in the elevator and as a sort of a signal of, I'm now paying attention to you. We've already got some Chico Shokai over here. We need more.
Just call me Ioane. I'll be your information broker, for lack of a better term.
I look up. I'm like, what? Something broken? Did you guys need me to fix something?
At this point, David just looks at like, all right, look, we may have gotten thrown into this mess together. Right now, we need every single one of us to work together as a team. Even if you don't like us, we're all we got right now. We got to do this to save the Earth. And right now, I want to look at each one of you guys like family. So I look over at Finley. So why don't you pay attention a little bit? Let's get to know you a little bit better. At least Ioane here had the decency to introduce herself.
Well, I'm just not used to you guys in the field who actually pay attention to me as it is. All I do is fix your stuff when you bring it back broken.
That may be true, but I know better than anybody that a good mechanic can make the difference between victory and defeat.
The two things that win wars are logistics and intelligence. And clearly you and she are those things. So getting to know you is vitally important. It's nice to meet you. As I said, I'm Shia Jedeg. Just call me Shia.
Just call me Dirge.
If Ioane is a little too difficult for you guys, just call me An.
No, I'm used to all kinds of names. Ioane's not that hard to figure out.
Ioane.
Oh, one. Excuse me. Well,
same roots. I recognize that word. It's Uanya.
As you're all discussing, you hear someone clearing their throat from behind, just going.
She spins around and immediately snaps to attention.
Same.
As you all end up seeing one person in particular. Um, this man who seems to be in an ASC uniform. Well, if you're all done introducing yourselves to each other, I suppose I'll do the same. I'm Vici Asland of the GMP. I will be your handler on this and following missions. So try not to get yourselves killed too much. I don't intend on dealing with too much in the way of cleanup.
I don't think any of us plans to die, Agent Osland.
I sure as
So
hell don't.
as soon as we hit the top of the elevator, we'll be using the vantage point of this building to clear below and land in the research facility's outer courtyard. There's a fight at street level, so we'd want to avoid that if we're heading into the laboratory itself. Everybody check your watches and check your packs. You should all have had a jetpack assigned to you.
Yep. Takes a minute. Looks. Checks. Sees his flight suit. Knows he's good to go.
Yep. She is already in armor, so the jetpack's already on. We already knew that we were going into a hot zone. Shia would not have would not have avoided armoring up.
And
Uanye pulls her ferret and cocks it just to be on the safe side.
Yep, let's get ready.
yep. And you're all doing the check, the only thing a bit disconcerting about doing this check is having to hear having to hear elevator music, which is a bit even in a full-on war zone like you guys are in right now. The elevator is still playing elevator music because you guys are using the elevator for an office, even if it's a exterior one that lets you see what's going on with the fighting below.
At least they could play Vivaldi's Four Seasons.
I'm just humming along with Girl from Ipanema, which is what it is.
I'd be happy if they even played with some of those idol girls that they have these days. I mean, Lord knows it definitely help us for security. Knows and try to get in the elevator that way.
She had just pulls out both pistol and combat knife. It pulls out a combat knife that is about 2 feet long.
Combat knife my ass.
It's a combat knife. It's a Catachan combat knife, but it's a combat knife.
Combat knife my ass.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That was the joke in creating the character, Neff. Yes, thank you.
And of course,
Of
course, I've got my regular combat knife, but I also pull out my M33 Tyra, which looks considerably a little more aged compared to what everyone else is rocking at the moment.
And of course, I've got a suppressed ferret over here.
Yeah, Shia looks over at Uanya and goes, "Are you sure that you can handle the kick on that thing?"
Shia, First Lieutenant, excuse me. There's nothing about this gun I can't handle.
Just making sure. Gotta have my back just like I have yours.
I just look over like, I see that look in her eyes. Trust me. There's a lot more going on behind there than you think. I know a tough girl when I see one.
Chia kind of wiggles his own ferret in front of him, in front of Dave, and goes, "I use this thing one-handed." For those who don't understand, the ferret is a larger combat pistol. Imagine a 45 or even maybe for some people a 50 AE. It's it is becoming the standard for the Army of the Southern Cross at this point in history, but a lot of soldiers don't like it because it is larger and has more recoil. So that's why Shia looked over to her and asked her if she'd be okay. She's a smaller person.
So in Uwanie's case, she is probably only about 5'3" compared to everybody else.
And she is, of course, well, as tall as I make most of my characters, 6'6", and wearing his mask, which you all noticed but nobody commented.
Oh. Which you do see that that your CO, I guess in this kind of situation, your chief is Agent Vici is looking at the mask going, sure that won't get in the way in a firefight?
Oh, trust me, I can see perfectly well.
Rest assured there, my friend. I've worked with many guys who have had interesting headgear. This is far from the weirdest I've ever seen in my life. I think he'll be, if he's that confident about it, I think we can trust him.
Mm-hmm. So, as you all are getting a bit comfortable with each other, you hear the elevator stop, and as it stops, you see the doors open.
Monk, I need to give it just a second. I gotta go grab my eye drops real quick. My eyes are burning over here for some reason. So I apologize for interrupting.
No worries. As it gets closer to the doors opening, what was supposed to be an empty office building that you're going to be using turns into something a bit different. As you see several Terminator bioroids facing the other way, opposite desks, the shelves, the office equipment is all around the place, like it's been made into a mess. On the plus side, it does mean plenty of sight blocking terrain. But since the elevator made a lot of noise getting up here, as soon as the doors open, the bioroids know that something is coming. So as soon as those doors open, they're gonna have weapons trained on those doors. So, oh, John.
Yep, we're not wasting any time, folks. It's combat time!
Yep. Now, some of you may think, well, aren't we going to roll initiative? About that, this is not a game that uses initiative for various reasons. In fact, this is not a game that's going to be doing a turn order in the traditional sense. So what you see here is you have about 5 standard Terminators, a lieutenant, and a minor lieutenant, versus you guys in armor. You do see that most of them are using battle rifles. One of them is using a support rifle, basically an SMG, and another is using a plasma pistol.
Oh, fun.
So lovely.
This is not a game where you can just say, I attack. If you give me that, I'm not going to count it. if you look at the bottom of your character sheet, you will see the 3 action phases. What you'd need to do is figure out which of those phases you're going to do, and how you're going to use your skills to do it. And remember the benefit and cost rule with your skills.
Okay, so they're currently facing away from us, correct?
They are going to. They're going to be facing towards you, but you do have cover. You do have partial cover, like half body's worth of cover, because of the overturned desks and equipment.
All right.
And they are going to start firing on you the moment you get out of the elevator.
Okay.
Well, in that case, we don't have really a turn order. First thing I'm gonna do, as soon as the doors open and I realize that there's these battleroids right in front of us, I think the best thing for me to do right now is get a view of the area. So I'm gonna do a scanning sweep.
All right. So roll. Given the situation, and the fact that you are technically doing scanning sweep under fire, so but it's not bad enough to be at hindrance, so you're going to be rolling that as normal.
All right, so I would just roll the 46 then.
Yep.
That's my value. All right, perfect.
And you get 2 hits. So what you are able to tell is that the standards. It's a case where it's standard soldiers are the ones who are the closest to you, though each of them is taking some degree of cover using the material, basically setting up the elevator doors as a kind of kill zone. So if you're to go rush out, you're going to be dealing with a whole lot of shots.
At which point I'd immediately alert everybody to back away from the door itself, and just kind of push it back against the wall to minimize the amount of damage, or minimize the amount of area they have to fire in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, back up, everybody. We got company.
All right. If that's the case, as we're backing into the against the sides of the elevator, let me. I think I want to science that shit. See what I can figure out that we got in the elevator, to see if maybe I can cause some kind of a smoke screen or something to inhibit their view, so we can get out of the elevator safely and to cover.
So, hold on a second. You should be able to get over the roof through the access grate on the elevator. Though that is going to be a bit tricky. But roll normal on that one.
Okay, how do I do this on this sheet? I'm not familiar with it.
All right, here's what you do. What's the value of your skill?
3.
All right, then you're gonna roll 3. You hit change the number of roll dice to 3, and then hit that big old D6 in the middle right next to your skills.
Okay, and that's what it came up with. 5.
5. You're able to get up there, and now comes the hard part, because you've got to do a little bit of vent crawling.
When did you become Solid Snake?
No. I'm not Solid Snake. I am. Oh God, can't even think of his name. I'm Die Hard.
No, John McClane.
John McClane.
Yes, I'm John McClane.
So
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
what you're gonna what is happening with this is you found out that you could, if you go in through the vents, you could get into the wires and cut the lights.
That works. I like this.
Because you didn't see any flashlight setups on their, or any light assistance on their helmets.
All right. So what do I roll for that?
So for this, I want you to pick one of your skills you feel appropriate. You're gonna be rolling that with hindrance, since you're in a damn vent.
I think I Can Fix It is probably the best one for that.
Yeah, using I Can Fix It to unfix it.
Exactly. Now, how do I do hindrance? Is that just one missing dice, or
You see it at the bottom.
At the bottom of your character sheet, there's a little chart that shows what you roll under.
got it. I see it.
You hit the radio button that applies.
Well, I don't think I did that.
Well, you weren't able to cut the power, but you did cut the fire alarm.
So now it's distracting people.
So everybody's dealing with the fire alarm bell going off and the sprinklers going off.
Oh darn! I guess it's going to be a little slippery on the ground.
So, as far as the rest of you, what's your plan? Because the rest of you are still using the sides of the elevator as cover.
I am currently looking.
So right now we're still in the support phase, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
So, Shia, just takes a look at the fact that there is cover out there, and that could give us an advantageous position all by itself. And he's going to, no, in fact, all we have to do is we need to get behind those thicker desks. If we can post up, we can take it as a siege, and we can take them down one by one. They can't stand against us if we've got the better position. And he's going to make this particular speech while using rally cry.
Mm-hmm.
This is also him leading by example, so I would believe that would put me in my element monk as exemplar.
Yep. So it's going to go up one tier on the ladder.
Okay. And so I'll be an edge. I'm trying to help my team, but there isn't anything creative, so I think I'd only get edge and not advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will roll rally cry. And I will go. No successes. That sucks.
It's not.
I used the wrong number. Hold on. Should I reroll with correct number?
Yes.
Okay, I'll reroll with correct number. Still no one success because I'm at edge. That's right. Shit. There we go. I have a success.
Yep. So with that in mind, they do on one hand they hear that somebody in a command position is in the elevator. On the other hand, because of that rallying cry, the others when they're trying to get to cover will roll with edge.
Nice.
Alright. Give me just 2 seconds. I'm copying my current skills into a separate document. So that way I'm not having to try to jump across the document that you set up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. But Uanye is looking at the situation, and she's thinking about using escape artist to get up into the vents, but go into a different direction than Dirge went to get above where the enemy is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Roll it.
That was only supposed to be 3 dice, not 5.
What number is it? You see where that die button is? What number is there?
I changed it to 3, but I didn't click off of it, apparently. Do you want me to re-roll?
Reroll, but since this kind of sneakiness is technically within your element, roll with edge.
Alright. Let's see.
Bottom left.
2 successes.
No, that should be 4 successes.
A 3, a 6, and a 2.
I see 2 6s on my end.
Yeah, 2
Interesting.
6s. That's 2 successes, and the third wasn't a success.
Well, no, that each 6 counts as 2 successes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that should be 4 successes.
fair enough.
Either way, you're able to get in pretty easily. I think I have a feeling on where that's going, but
She's going to crawl forward as silently as possible. Thanks to her small size, I'm pretty sure she can move around a little easier than Dirge can.
Oh.
And,
Yeah, no shrimp.
remember, folks, prone gets you home.
Uanye is going to come up on the first grate. What does she see?
She sees that the enemy is still formed in a kill zone targeting the elevator doors. You have five up front, and then 2 in the back.
All right. How well can she target them from that vent?
Are you targeting the ones in the back or in the front?
In the front.
How well you can target it depends on the approach you're taking and the skill you're using.
Huh. Let's see, let me... I got, the 2 that I think I'm going to be able to use the best for this... Or actually, probably smooth method for this. So let me double check that really quick. Copy that really quick while I'm passing by it. And let's see. Nope, that's you're able to get parts to operate in ways that were not intended to be used or keep parts from functioning based on their design. I think technical would work for this. If I use smooth method to shoot the cameras on the suits.
All right. Roll that. That's going to be normal.
All right, here we go. No dice.
Yeah, you fire a shot and it certainly dinged him on the head, but it wasn't enough to actually mess with the camera setup.
Damn it.
and now they know that somebody else is hiding around, so they're starting to spread out.
So Uani is going to start moving to the next grate, and the first right that she comes across, she's going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way she's not staying in one spot.
Mm-hmm. But because of that, the five in the front aren't focused on the kill zone as much. Now that's been reduced to just two, while everyone else is looking about, trying to leave no stone unturned.
Which, in this case, would be where my battle expertise comes in. Realizing that now they've given us an opening to get in there and get into that cover, I look over at Chia and go, and I just basically go, let's get in position now while they're moving.
Yep.
All right. You're able to roll in and get behind cover. Are you guys planning on trying to get some shots in now that they're a bit more spread out?
Absolutely, now's the right time to hit them while they're distracted.
All right.
It would be a good idea to do so. And in this case, since Shia and Dave are the guys on the ground,
Mhm.
whereas our other erstwhile non-combatants are being mostly distractions, I think is the best way to put it. Shia looks over at Dave and basically says, how do we want to do this? There are a lot of them. We need to keep moving and in cover.
Well, seeing how they're moving around, this is where I'm going to throw out an ironclad strategy, because I've dealt with this kind of thing before. Where we're basically like, we'll run up to each cover, take a few shots each, switch each other out, move as much as we can. The more we move around, the harder it's going to be for them to land a shot on us.
All right. For that, I'm going to be treating that as you being in your element. You already gained edge from the rallying cry, so you're going to be rolling this with advantage.
Oh, nice. All right, and ironclad strategy. The only downside is ironclad strategy. I've only got one dice, so I gotta hope this hits.
But I thought you said you only had one dice.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Nah, shit.
Oh.
Shia understands his ironclad strategy, or his attempt, but thinks that it'd take too long and would likely cause harm to the non-combatants that are acting as distractions, because both non-combatants are in a tight space that can be easily tracked. Vents follow a very determined course, and if the bad guys are not paying attention to us and paying attention more to them, they could be unfortunately they're going to be unfortunately hurt. So Shia says, well, that's a good plan and would normally work. We don't have time on our side. Those two up there are going to get hurt if we don't hurry. And in this case, what Shia is going to do is, I'm wearing combat armor. You've only got your flight suit on. You should stick in the back row. Cover me. I'm going to try and kite some of them. And Shia is going to use Flash Move to move into cover near one of the 5 small guys that are now spread out, trying to attract his attention away from Dave, so Dave can take a shot at the guy. Basically, so the guy's helpless against Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, this puts me in my element of exemplar. I also think that this probably is me enacting my nature, which means that since I'm acting in my nature, if I can, I can re-roll.
Mhm.
But let's see, I have four dice, and because I'm acting within my element, I assume that means I have edge.
Yeah.
Okay, gonna flash move right next to this dude, and see if I can distract him so that Dave can take a pot shot at his head. One success.
All right.
The
You
dice,
do manage.
as usual, the dice do not like me.
Yeah. You do manage to get in and create a distraction by firing an intentional miss.
Okay.
So as soon as you do that, several of the guys in the front turn their rifles toward you.
Of
As
course,
soon
I'm
as they
ducking behind that cover that I moved near.
yeah. So as soon as they start firing, you immediately duck. They all miss, and they're focused on you now, which gives David a perfect spot to make his move.
And of course, since I want to stay hidden on this, I want to, masking my moves would be good. Let them focus on Shia for now. So now might be a good time to go ahead and hit them with heavy encryption. So that'll work out really good on that regard. Because I mask my movements, makes it harder for them to defend, makes it harder for them to target me. And that actually puts me in my nature because I'm adapting to what she is suggesting.
All right, so that's going to be as edge.
All right, so and heavy encryption is 3 dice.
Make sure to. Nice.
One success.
And you hit with heavy encryption, so you are going to be able to mess with their. It's not a full-on disabling communication, but it is a messing with them. You can make an attack option if you so choose.
Well, now, yeah, I think now's a good time to start firing out some shots. So how do we do this?
You would use one of your skills. It's just a matter of describing how you're using it.
Well, that's kind of what I was doing with the heavy encryption. As you attack, you mask your moves to make it harder for your target to defend. That was what I was aiming for.
Yeah. In that case, on the swarm, I'm going to take 1 off of it. We'll just put a little 1 right up there. So with that, you're able to fire a few shots and manage to down one of them. As soon as that happened, one of his buddies is trying to pull him out of the firing line. So where do you think you're going to be? So with that in mind, you've got 1 down, one trying to carry, and the others are still on the hunt. And to that end, the remaining ones, since that's going to be 3 who are not doing other things, I'm only going to roll 3 dice. And given the distraction, no, I'm not going to. It's going to be at normal. And a big old donut.
Delicious donuts.
So some of them do try and fire when they see you moving, but it's just ricocheting off. And
not to mention that with flash move, I'm pretty unpredictable. So
yeah, he's got flash move. I've got the heavy encryption, making up both of us pretty much harder to hit, while the other 2 are out of sight, so they don't even know where they are.
you do hear the leadership in the back try and bark orders, but it's not in the language any of you know. So what they are going to be trying to do is rolling is making their own rolls to try and assist. And nope. It's
Snake eyes, baby.
Yep. It's not working out for them. So with that in mind, current situation is they're down one. Someone else is 1.5 if I want to be technical, since you've got one guy who's trying to handle their downed guy, and you've got two people on your side are in the vents. So what do you want to do next?
Actually, I've got something for this, because now seeing how they're moving right now, and also recognizing who's the commander in their group, I'm being a veteran, know that taking out the leader is always usually the best move, because once you take him out, they go chaotic and are much harder or much easier to deal with. So I'm gonna go ahead and use machinations to call out to Shiga. Go, we need to take him out now.
All right. So that is in your element, so you're rolling with edge.
I got 4 dice for that one, so this one's got a good chance of hitting.
I mean, oh damn, 2 hits.
All right, you did manage to get the orders over to Sienna, and that means that he's going to be rolling with advantage on his next roll.
Oh no, man, this is great. Okay, so Monk, you do realize that this is going to put me in both my elements at the same time, right?
Given that, add 2 dice.
Oh,
This is gonna be
and
beautiful.
I'm using flash move to get near him too, because I need to stay unpredictable to the swarm.
All right.
So Shia looks at Dave, looks like where he's pointing, nods at Dave once, and says, "It's time to take down these bastards once and for all." He dodges around the outside of his cover, behind the guy he came nearest to, so that he's passing behind him. Just the guy can't turn the gun fast enough, and he hops over some of the fallen tables, rolls under some of the tables still up on the desks, pushes a chair out of his way towards one of the Terminator swarm, just to make sure that, you know, this is all unpredictable movement, just to get them away from him. And then finally gets up and close with the commander, and is going to try. Essentially, he's going to try and wrap his arm around the guy, so that the knife then pins him, and then put the pistol under his chin and pull the trigger. That's the aim here.
All right.
Okay, rolling with advantage and 6 dice, Monk.
I know.
7 successes. Or 8, excuse me. 8 successes. That's right, because 5s count as 2 with advantage. 8 successes, Monk.
As you managed to... The big thing to take away from this, from everybody else who sees you do this, is it's almost like you disappeared for a second, which it wasn't a case of you having some sort of stealth tech. It's just you being very, very fast, and before they even know it, their commander is taken out, and his pronouns for his head, or at least, are there and over there.
Here and there.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
God damn. Of course, at that last moment, Shia is still holding the body, because, I mean, it may not be the best cover, but it's still gonna absorb some shots.
Yeah, and The other Terminators are going to be attempting to fire at you, but because of the fact that you've got cover, they're rolling with hindrance.
Swing and a miss.
Even though those are all 5s. Jesus, hindrance, thank you.
Successor games, LOL, here and where?
And while they're distracted, this will be my time to call up. And basically, now that I know that they're taken out, I could go buy the book and just take these guys out.
All right, roll it.
Right.
Since that isn't within your nature on these things, roll with edge.
Edge, all right, and buy the book. Fortunately, I've only got 1 dice for this one, so it's probably not going to do well. But let's see. Nope, not even close.
All right, you do fire at them while they're firing at Siad, and it ends up canceling each other out. Meanwhile, Dirge, would you like to do a retry when it comes to killing the lights?
Actually, I have another interesting idea since I'm up there with some electronics.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all in the rain, technically.
Yeah, but no, I was thinking something more interesting. Now, all of these guys in their suits are, well, them at least, the bad guys are in suits that they have like little communication systems between each other, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if, I don't know, I were to suddenly blare something loud, screeching, and obnoxious through their internal communication system?
It's a small world after all.
No, I was thinking elevator music, but we can go with that.
No. Vuvuzela.
Oh my god!
Yes, absolutely.
Yes!
Yeah, something like that. I want to do that to them.
All right. What skill are you going to be using?
Well, I think that I can fix it would be, I'm fixing their communication systems. I'm making it better.
Yeah.
These are vast improvements over what they had.
Most would say because of the tech difference that wouldn't work, but keep in mind both the Masters and the SC and the Southern Cross are using robotechnology at the end of the day.
Yes, and I'm an engineer, so I'm definitely in my element.
Mm-hmm. So since you're in your element, roll that with edge.
Two success.
A bit odd that the 3D die didn't roll, but
He hasn't
okay.
set that up yet. We never.
Yeah, he didn't turn them on yet.
But yeah, you're able to do that, and they are. First off, they don't know what the hell's going on. You hear a bunch of shouting, everybody turning around trying to figure out where that noise is coming from. And you can't tell exactly what they're saying, but there's a whole lot of communication going about. And in the process, they're going to be distracted, and
That distraction leaves a perfect opening for our mini. Should we call her an attack chihuahua?
Some of them are going to attempt to fire. Let me see how well they do. Not well at all.
Yeah, they seem to be having some problems with their guns lately.
Well, it's more the fact that what we're doing inflicts hindrance or disadvantage on them, so 5s just stop counting as successes.
Yeah. We've screwed them up so badly, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And it's kind of hard to focus a shot when you've got the sound of 100 angry bees blaring in your suit.
It suddenly strikes me that Riona would have an advantage here.
Because she couldn't hear it.
And plus,
That's
without
the
their
joke.
commander and then they also don't have their commander to even give them any kind of physical. They literally have no idea what they're supposed to do now.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't communicate it even if they tried.
Unless they all took off their helmets.
Yeah, a good commander could work with that, but he's out because I made the smart
I
call.
took off his helmet.
So
I took off a lot more than his helmet, but I also took off his helmet
Mhm.
to work for him.
But
it is time for the attack, Chihuahua. I'm gonna keep that because I like it.
all right.
So let's see. From the opening or from the vent I'm at now, how many are below me?
There's now about four of them.
Oof. Ooh.
But only two of them have full battle rifles. One of them has a support rifle.
And the other has a plasma pistol, right?
He's dead.
Oh, that's right.
That
I
was
killed
the-
the guy with the plasma pistol. He's dead, Jim.
Okay. So let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Hee hee. Alright, so I'm assuming that we all have some sort of comm devices on ourselves.
Yes.
Owane is gonna touch her comm piece. Hey, Jarek. I'm about to give you an opening.
Ah,
And I'm going to use heavy encryption to let's see, the Terminators of how mechanical are their suits?
It is more or less power armor.
Okay, so if I upload a virus to fuck with the movement mechanics, they won't be able. They'll be very hindered in moving their arms to defend, much less lift a rifle.
Something to that extent.
All right, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So Uanye rolls off to the side, points her little wrist thing towards the ones that she could see right under her. And she's going to use heavy encryption to upload a virus into their power armors to disable their movement mechanics.
Just keep their speakers working.
Oh, no, just the movement mechanics, I promise.
All right. Roll it. That's going to be rolled as normal.
Even though I'm in my element? No, technically, damn it, no.
Because of what's being done, it's normally I'd say in your element, but it's kind of canceled out.
because of the situation we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I don't know. I remember that one of the considerations for edge or advantage is how unique and inspired the action is.
All right. In that case, I will allow edge.
Alright.
Otherwise, you'd have advantage.
Yeah. So, rolling. 1 success!
So you're not able to fully disable, but they are much slower. It's akin. Their movements are akin to somebody who's not used to walking around in full plate.
Get him, Jeddick.
I've got this. So, Shia is because he values, not getting killed. Shia knows that he's been given an opening, and what he's going to do this time is using man at arms, because now this is more about manipulation of the battlefield and his weapons than it is about getting someplace fast. He's going to use man at arms to maneuver closer to the two affected Terminators and toss the body of their commander at them before closing in to at least stab one with his knife.
All right.
And obviously this is still me being in my nature and at least one of my elements. I'm working together with my team, who has made a very interesting decision. So, edge or advantage, Monk? Which one? Your choice.
Advantage.
Alrighty.
I'm not giving you the extra dice this time, but you still get advantage.
I understand. I don't need the extra dice because it's not like I'm in both elements with everything. Hey!
That's still enough for a hit.
Yep, so like I said, he maneuvers close, throws the body at them, and specifically at one of them, just kind of distract him while coming into the other and taking out his combat knife and shoving it through his fucking chest.
It goes deep enough that the other end goes past because it's a large knife.
For those of you wondering, this is, and for anyone who's familiar with Warhammer 40k, we modeled this combat knife off of the Catachan knives from 40k. Specifically, wasn't it the Reaper's Claw?
Yep.
Yeah, which is like it's like almost a two. Like if you go from the bottom of the hilt of the knife to the tip, it's a 2-foot long knife.
It is borderline a short sword.
It's literally a short sword, but
Oh.
you know the Catachan don't have short swords; they have knives.
And I can't believe I'm gonna be making this deep cut.
Oh, God.
The knife is not a knife. See, that one was pandering to you.
Knife.
Japanese wordplay.
It's fun.
It's fun.
For those, that's a joke from Super Robot Wars. People, go play it. Good games.
But in the aftermath of both of the lieutenants being taken out, you see the remaining Terminators just shut down. Like they just stop moving.
Ooh.
And after examination, you are able to remove the helmets, and this is where you notice something interesting. They all look the same. They all look to be male, Caucasian appearance with violet-colored hair, but they all look exactly alike.
I think I'm a clone now.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's
yeah,
always two of me just a hanging around.
I think I'm a clone now, because every chromosome's a hand-me-down.
Yep.
But
Shia, seeing everything and understanding that the Terminators must have been linked in some case, also knows the battlefield is no place for complacency, and using his knife does his form of a double tap. Every one of them gets decapitated. Just so if anybody comes around and somehow reactivates them, well, it's not going to be too useful.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I'm sure some of you might be disgusted by that, but Shia is a bit brash in how he does things and a bit pragmatic as well.
No, David actually looks like, not a bad idea. Don't need these guys coming back later to kick our ass.
But
They worked when they had a commander. I don't know if another commander would make them work again.
Best not to risk it.
Indeed.
Good
of course,
work. Good
I
work.
immediately look at him like, by the way, that was a good strategy you had back there. I'm impressed.
It was off the seat of my pants. I just knew we needed to make sure that, well, those two, they're obviously coming out of the vents and everything, weren't about to take any lead. I've got armor. You've got smarts. We can afford to take more risks.
Indeed. Adaptability is important in combat. I've learned that over the years. I like your style.
As things clear out, Vici comes into the room, just saying Good work. Now for the next phase. It's troubling that they were this far in. I'll have to investigate that at a later date if we survive this. So with that said, he looks at everybody. You see him pull out his pistol and shoot at the window so that it shatters. And it then says, "You guys ready to jump?"
Always.
Ready and waiting, baby. Let's fly.
Right. As you guys go out the window and activate the jetpacks, which are more akin to jump jets than something that's going to allow for full flight.
Except for mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and mine's a flight suit.
You approach the Robotech Research Building's courtyard and see that it is littered with the remains of the battle. While the invading force has pulled back for now, they will no doubt strike again soon. The courtyard still has plenty of trees and shrubs and a nice garden, despite the wreckage of mecha and bioroids all over the place, as well as plenty of the bodies of soldiers. As you arrive, you do hear Vici say, "Scale the gate. We need to get in there."
I mean, at that point, we still have our jetpacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we literally
we
just
can
fly on in there.
Yeah.
Before we do,
Mm-hmm.
Shia, seeing all the bodies and everything, for anyone who gets this joke, new type flash, I'm going to try and use omniprescience because we're close proximity to the walls, in order to determine if there are any hostile forces on the other side. And obviously, I'm just walking close to the wall before jumping to try and feel this threat, if there is threat on the other side.
So in that case, roll it. It's going to be rolled normal.
Okay. 3 successes. Or no, 2 successes, excuse me. I'm not rolling an edge.
Well, you do. Here's I have bad news and I have worse news.
Give me the worst news first.
The worst news is that on the other side of the gate there's more infantry. The worst news is that on the other side is a full-on scout bioroid mech, armed with a drum type gun pod.
So,
good thing we didn't go
so
charge
Shia,
in there then.
well, Shia puts his hand out, stopping everybody, including the agent. If we jump over here, we're all going to die. There's at least a platoon, or at least a squad of bogies over there, and a mech.
All right. Uanye rolls her neck, cracks her knuckles. Allow me.
All right. This is going to be a difficulty 3 check, whichever way you try and do it.
Need
All
3
right,
successes
so Uanye is going to use Fade to Black, which is going to allow me to sneak or stick to the shadows to sneak by the guard. And in doing so, I'm also going to use Blend In. Because Uanye, being the smart little cookie she is, grabbed one of the helmets.
All right.
So she's also utilizing the 30-second roll.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using both Blend In and Fade to Black at the same time. How do I go about this?
You're going to be using Fade to Black first.
All right.
and that is still going to be a difficulty 3.
Okay, am I rolling with edge because I'm doing this?
Yes.
All right. So, rolling. 1 success.
You did manage to get through. Now you're going to be rolling blend in to try and to try and apply the 30-second rule.
All right. While she's landing, she activates her combat armor to hide her uniform,
Mm-hmm.
and she puts on the helmet at the same time.
All right, roll it.
Edge or advantage?
Edge.
All right.
You should have
1.
3 dice.
Oh, no, oh, damn it. There it goes. 2 successes.
On top of the
You
one
are
from before,
you
that's
are
3.
properly blended in. As you do this, you do see that Vici is trying to is trying to brute force the electronic lock on the gate.
I'm going to subtly say, Vici, give me 2 minutes. That's all I need. And
You got a minute and a half. Make it quick.
Fine. And so Uanya is going to just nonchalantly stroll past everybody and go right to the mech. And with her suit, she pulls a couple of charges and discreetly, while looking like she's fixing her boot or checking something on her boot, is going to shove said charges into one of the gaps at the ankle joint of the mech. And she's going to go right back towards the gate, and I'm going to use Fade to Black again to get out of there. And...
All right.
Oh, damn it. 1 success.
You did manage to get out barely.
And as she's coming down, she's going to detonate the charges.
The charges go off without a hitch, as they're focused on what exactly got blown up. While Vici's happy that you managed to survive, he's also not happy that you may have destroyed assets with that charge. Going, that was reckless.
I only took out one of the legs. It's not moving, and we're not going to get hurt.
He gives you a bit of a glare for a moment, but as soon before he's about to say anything, he hears a ding, which is basically his indication that the lock is open, so they're able to just slightly open the gate, enough to get you guys through. And as you get into the research facilities proper, you find several elevators and emergency staircases. The main lights in the elevators are offline since after the initial stage of the attack, power got knocked out. Vici ends up leading you down the stairwells into the underground floors. And this is quite a few floors because it's 25 flights of stairs.
There a gap in the center of those stairs, Monk?
It is just spiraling downwards.
Okay, but is there a gap in the spiral, in the center of the spiral?
There is.
Okay.
How wide?
How big is it?
Wide enough for one person.
Okay. Shia simply says, "I'll clear the bottom," and jumps off from the top through that gap using his jetpack to moderate his fall.
God
Yeah,
damn it. I'm going
You're
to...
gonna roll and roll with hindrance.
Okay.
Because this is technically a blind jump.
I mean, I looked down and then jumped into the gap.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap, yeah. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to use my skill Man-at-Arms again because, well, Man-at-Arms is using all of your tools most effectively.
All right.
Okay. See if I can get something.
You take a dive. You end up, but you end
I'm
up
going
having to. Go ahead.
Monk, I'm within my demeanor of brash.
All right.
I'm going to use it for a reroll
All right.
at normal.
Check that off.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's a recovery.
It's supposed to be rolled as hindrance instead of normal, but I'll take it.
I mean, it would. It moved to normal. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 6 still would have gotten me 2 successes, Monk.
Yeah. So you are
Just-
able to do it and then hit the jetpack at the last minute, so you don't go splat.
Yep. And of course, as soon as I touch down, out come my ferret and my knife.
Mm-hmm.
Uanye is gonna roll her eyes and be like, "Oh God, what am I getting myself into?" And she is going to follow Shia just in case if he needs sneaky assistance.
Mm-hmm. As this happens, you guys eventually arrive at the upper part of the underground sections of the facility, and come across much larger areas leading to high-rising catwalks. Eventually, Vici leads you to a central computer that is still thrumming with power, clearly relying on a backup generator, though it's dimly lit with only red and blue emergency lights. There are several breaks in the catwalks and stairs that lead to this room, but nothing too difficult. As you get closer to the labs, you do see the catwalks connect to the labs and descend. The lab facilities themselves are separate and protected by a bunch of screens and locks. Some of the more secure areas have a heavy blast door, which you're directed to by Vici. He eventually overrides the emergency lockouts, making it clear that he's no stranger when it comes to hacking, and with that you gain access to what was a top secret laboratory for the former UEDF.
Shia, having worked at least a little bit with some stuff that's brand new, is probably a little familiar with the looks of such a facility, but obviously not with its functions. It's not what he was there for. He just tested the shit. So he just looks around, slightly familiar.
Yeah.
What Shia does do, however, is he turns to the agent and goes, "Agent Ashland, why are we in a testing facility or an RD facility such as this?"
To give herself an edge is all that he says. He looks to the others and says, "Don't touch anything."
Understood.
And as he says that, my hands are coming off of what I was just touching.
God damn it.
You see him glare right at you with with enough daggers to skewer somebody multiple times.
Hey, I'm in my element. This is my kind of place.
But you eventually see that he's looking at the different section numbers, going from 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B, and then eventually 5B.
Doobie. I didn't know she was here.
To be or not to be?
That is indeed the question.
Doobie all night long. What are you talking about?
Eventually, when you get into 5B, you end up at a safeguarded door that he gets through. He hands Sathier a portable drive and orders you to get to to put this into the data core, have it upload, and then prep demo charges, which is going to be something that's going to be a bit tricky because you're in a core that is like being in a meat refrigerator.
I am a meat popsicle.
Yeah, it is -5 degrees Celsius in here.
Am I still in?
Oh, so it's warm.
So I'm still in battle armor. Does that help regulate my temperature?
It does for a bit, but it only means it's just cold instead of fucking cold.
Uanya grumbles to herself, reaches into a side pocket on her left leg and pulls out a beanie. Son of a bitch, couldn't be in a fucking regular temperature room, could it? Uanya doesn't like the cold at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you didn't do well in your Arctic training then.
Carswell, do me a favor, go eat a bag of dicks.
Space is colder. Get used to it.
For the record, -5 Celsius is 23 in freedom units.
It's warm, really.
23 Fahrenheit? I mean, it's cold. Yeah, it's fucking cold, but...
Not for Canadians.
Or Minnesotans.
I'm a Floridian, goddammit.
Or me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Floridian. Anything below 50 is cold.
Like I said, the difference between cold and fucking cold.
Hence why I only pulled out a beanie. I didn't go and pull out a scarf either.
Mm-hmm.
So laughed if you did that.
With that in mind, I want you to roll heavy encryption for this.
All right.
And this is going to be difficulty 2, but you are going to be rolling with edge.
Okay. Heavy encryption. All right. 2 successes.
All right. You did manage to get the data requested from the data core. Basically making a copy. And
While I'm there, I want to see if I can. I'm gonna look over my shoulder. How closely is Vici watching me?
He's a few paces away.
Okay. Let me take a look at something really quick, cause I'm going to be using one of my. I'm gonna be playing into one of my dramas.
All right.
And that's still going to fall under heavy encryption, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me second. Nope, that is not. Actually, that's going to. Let's see on technical. Escape artist. You're hacking a database and are discovered by an admin. Would that count as this?
No, because you already have admin access.
Fair enough. So heavy encryption it is then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be playing into one of my dramas, and I'm going to do a quick tap, 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 tap with my brother's name on it. because I'm trying to find anything on him.
So you do write it in, and it gives you a file, the usual description, and it just says current status MIA.
And Oanye is going to quickly put her own little flash drive in and copy that entire file over to it. And
Alright.
discreetly remove the drive and back out without Vici seeing her.
Mm-hmm.
So roll again.
Not for this one. After you finish that up, Vici says it's time to go. Blow the computers and prepare to evac.
You got it. All right, boys, give me some space. And she claps her hands together, not at all to warm them up, I promise. And she starts setting her charges. And she looks over her shoulders and looks at them. What the fuck are you waiting for? Get the fuck out of here! Come on.
As you get out, and get a good bit of distance, it doesn't take long to hit the. Did you do remote detonation, or did you do timed detonation?
Remote.
All right. So you hit a hit of the button, and the computer core goes kaboom.
Kaboom. Alright, that means I'm now down to 1 charge.
So as you get out, you do see that the Terminators and the like are have taken notice, but before they can make any move, you see them starting to get shot at, and you mostly because you see reinforcements coming in to take the Terminators and the Batloid out, or Bioroid, I should say. And then you hear a message from radio. Hannibal command, fall back into the Imperial Gardens area for pickup.
Yeah, just because it's so ingrained into him, over the radio. Copy. Hannibal command will fall back into Imperial Gardens for LZ and extraction. Over and out.
Of course, I'm right behind him. Oh, you heard him. Let's move.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we are. Heads on swivels as always. Weapons at ready because we're in a war zone.
Yeah.
Earth is the war zone, or as some people would say, Earth is the ring.
But as you're heading out, you do see another cruiser up in the sky over the Bay Area. A Troilian heavy cruiser, which is basically carpet bombing the Bay Area.
Bastards.
And
Get them someday.
as you head through the streets using one of the vehicles provided to get out, you end up at the Imperial Garden, which is being used as a fob for this area, a forward operating base. And within that, you do see a lot of people in uniforms, but it's mostly people from the Tactical Air Force division of the ASC. It's good.
As we come to obviously the checkpoint that would let us in, Shia approaches the guards. First Lieutenant Shia Jedeg reporting. This is Hannibal team. We've been told to fall back and await extraction.
And As you get get there, you do eventually hear a response from Hannibal Command saying, "Hannibal team, this is the Spirit. Prepare for immediate evac. Strike Force will clear the skies for you. ETA till dust off. T-minus 8 minutes."
Yeah, it just says, copy. Extraction in T-minus 8 minutes. Over.
8 minutes, huh?
And what the, now while the TAF here is setting has a fob set up, you're not going to be able to recover much. Unfortunately, you guys didn't use too much ammo, but a lot of the stuff is either inoperable or is reserved for the people at this base, and they're holding on as best they can, but there's certainly signs of wear.
All right. Iwani is gonna take a look around, and while using machinations or machination.
Machination.
Thank you, machinations.
Mhm.
She is going to try to get a feel of what is most desperately needed, because she's got an idea.
Roll it.
Alrighty. Let's see. Machinations is 3. Am I rolling with edge or advantage?
You're rolling this normal.
All right.
So
2 successes.
And realizing this, could I also join in on that? Maybe help?
yeah, that's going to be an assist. But roll that as normal.
Normal. 4. 4 successes.
Beautiful.
So you do manage to get a feel for how things are going. A lot of the people here are from the 9th unit. They're part of the reason they're doing the best they can is because the TAF is the Air Force. They're not meant to be on the ground fighters. And while you guys are keeping an eye on things, there's constant bombardment of either on the ground guns going up against the ships in the sky, or the ships in the sky retaliating. You guys are effectively in something akin to a blitz.
It's man.
Okay.
And
Question.
go ahead.
Do I see anything Sylphid or Modat in the nearby area?
No.
Damn it.
Not like we'd be able to use it anyway.
Fair.
We'd have to requisition that, and that takes paperwork and time. We don't have time. We have less than 8 minutes.
Okay. How close am I to the comm system?
It's not far away, but you're not getting access to it because they're using it for their own communication when it comes to the defense of the city.
Damn. Because I was gonna see if I could try to hack some reinforcements over to this way.
Mm-mm.
The
But
whole I would imagine the whole of Earth is spread pretty thin, so you'd probably not get anybody.
yeah. But as this is going on, you do hear that one of these ships ended up getting knocked down, and that manages to crash to within the city, which ended up causing even more chaos because of all the dust, and of course plenty of explosions. But as you do, you end up hearing another message saying, "Hannibal, this is Spirit. The enemy air cover is too heavy for a safe pickup. You'll need to find your way out of the city on your own or clear the skies. Hannibal out.
Well, shit.
Well, isn't that nice?
All right.
Looking over at Vici, looking over to the agent, Shia goes, "Were there any contingencies given to you, or are we about to wing it?"
I think you know the answer to that question.
God. I swear to God. What's the safest route out of the city? Which would be the best place for a pickup? Do you have at least that intel?
Think the easiest spot would be heading to Neo Tokyo Bay.
Always safest under the lantern.
Well, I'm being generous with the word safe.
It's already been bombed. It's not like they'll bomb it again.
You got a better idea?
I don't think we have any way to clear the skies unless you know of a hidden AA battery we can pull out of our asses.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Let's see if we can find something here. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and find some mechs we could use to get our asses out of this mess.
It might be better to go by normal vehicle. After all, if we're in a mech, they're more likely to engage us.
You do find that there is one truck that's not being used.
So, out of character, who's got proficiency in all ground vehicles?
I do.
Actually, I think. Let me double check something because I think. I don't know. I don't have proficiency in all vehicles, but you got it.
Looking at Hannibal team, Shia goes, "So which one of y'all can drive?"
Don't look
I
at me.
look at everyone else. I was like, "What? You guys can't?"
I can fly.
So
I
can
can do
I.
a motorcycle. I can do a motorcycle, but anything with more than 2 wheels, not so much.
Well, it looks like I'm driving.
Go for it.
Oh shit.
But I can drive.
How safely is the question?
Well, as long as I don't overload the vehicle, I'm fine.
Ugh. Oh
Then
shit.
let's not overload the vehicle. Just everyone get in the truck. Let's go.
That's the idea. I'm not planning on making the vehicle go Mach 5. I'm just planning on getting from point A to point B.
Shia hops into the cargo bed in the back. He knows that, he only has a pistol, but better than nothing.
Well, fortunately, this is a truck that has a mounted machine gun on the back.
Oh, yeah. Well, now
So
Shia has
even
that,
better.
too.
Alright, so Uanye is gonna hop in the bed as well because she can at least offer some range support as well.
I guess I'm riding shotgun.
Do you have a shotgun?
Shia,
No.
Shia looks over at Dave. Make sure this idiot doesn't kill us all.
Yeah. And
Noted.
I know I said truck, but this is more. I think the closest equivalent would be a Bradley.
Even better.
A Bradley that's had a fair few bullet holes, so it's not in tip-top shape, but it's good enough.
So it's got built-in air conditioning.
Yes.
Built-in air conditioning, built-in ventilation.
Uanye looks over up at Shia. Hey, toss me your ferret just in case if I run out of ammo.
You know, every time you guys talk about your ferrets, I keep thinking animal ferret, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Shia quickly hands her the gun, says, "Safety's on, just remember that."
Duly noted. Thank you, First Lieutenant.
But
At this
As
point,
you
Shia
guys-
is again head on a swivel with now a 50 caliber machine gun.
as you guys head out, you end up seeing something a bit odd in the sky. Seeing a single assault dropship crashing. It hits right into a building, and then you hear radio from command saying, Hannibal team, we're getting reports of odd activity. Seems an enemy vessel was just shot down by one of its own. Proceed and investigate the wreckage of the crashed dropship and find out why the masters are shooting at their own.
Oh, this just got interesting, didn't it?
Copy that, Hannibal Command. Hannibal team out.
All right, change in direction.
Iwania looks over at Shia. I'm probably the safest bet to get in there and out unnoticed.
Shia looks down at Ruanya. I don't think unnoticed is an option this time. They just had an emergency crash.
You guys do manage to find where the thing crashed, right into a building while the other dropships seem to be circling around it. As you approach the wreckage, you see a man with violet hair coming out, speaking in a rattled language and dressing far more extravagantly than any of the other enemy combatants you've seen.
Does he look like the same purple-haired person that I decapitated the clones of earlier?
No, different shade.
Okay,
And
so it's not the same guy.
Definitely doesn't have a build for combat. In fact, this person looks way too extravagant for a battlefield.
All right,
Royalty
so-
or some kind.
I mean, some sort of leader, maybe a leader of the Robotech Masters here on the Earth.
But you do hear him speak, though. The only person who can understand what's being said in this situation is Kathir.
Okay, what am I hearing?
Well, first off, you hear that it's speaking in Zentradi, which you've studied as part of your background.
Okay.
So you can understand what he's saying, but in terms of what they're saying, he seems to be far too energetic for this area, and as he approaches you, you hear him say, could you protect me from Nihilus?
Uanye holds her hand up to the rest of the Hannibal team. He's asking for protection. Give me 2 minutes. And as best Centradi as she can get, who is Nihilus?
While she's talking with him, she relays back to Hannibal Command. Hannibal Command, this is Hannibal Team. We've had an encounter with someone from the crashed wreckage. They're requesting our protection. They're speaking something. Probably something from the Robotech Masters. I don't know. But one of the team members here can understand them, is communicating with them, and they're requesting protection under our jurisdiction. How do we proceed? Over.
This is an unknown element. This certainly is new developments.
So
keep him under your protection until you're going to be bringing him with you, because if we need to figure out why they were shooting at him, and what that can mean for the state of things with the enemy. So as far as anyone's concerned, you guys are babysitting this person.
all right.
Understood. Hannibal
So-
team over and out. And
Really
then she, of course, lets Kater know very discreetly that we are to protect him and take him with us for extract.
She gives a subtle thumbs up behind her back to let her know that she understands. Now, question: the truck's stopped right now, right?
Yeah.
Uania is going to gently approach the gentleman. Who is Nihilus? We can help you, but you need to tell us what we're up against.
He starts to explain, but it's in a language you don't understand. Then he stops, clears his throat, then tries again in a different language, and he does this several times before switching over to English and saying, "Nihilus is," and as soon as he stops talking, you see 5 Terminator bioroids armed with battle rifles drop onto the area, and says, "That is Nihilus." And immediately bolts right behind you.
Get on the
As
fucking
if he's
truck.
high-
And mind you, she's got both of the ferrets, so she's going to dual wield this shit. And she's going to back up while shooting both ferrets at the Terminators.
Of course,
Uh,
Shia in the mounted gun sees them and is laying suppressing fire over them.
Might be a good time to toss him into the truck.
As far as I knew, he was running for the truck.
No,
No,
he's
he-
running back.
He ran back and hid behind you.
She looks over her shoulder and screams in Zentradi, "Get in the motherfucking truck!"
And you see him do a beat. You see him do a beeline.
As he does approach the truck, Shia just reaches out with one arm, hauls the dude in,
Mm-hmm.
and then continues to lay down suppressing fire on the Terminators.
Yeah. This is the person in question.
I'm not getting a picture. Oh, there it is.
It's a fucking
Appropriate
femboy.
name.
Why is everything femboys?
Um,
God damn it, Mikola, you've infected everything.
but the as you guys head out, first off, Kay, I want you to roll for the shooting.
All right. What am I going to use that under? Because I really don't have that many.
Well, keep in mind skills are multi-purpose with this, so
So figure out
in this kind of
smooth method.
yeah.
All right, rolling normal. Damn it.
You managed to.
Because the
I
first
would-
one was a 3.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see your sheet so we can make sure that things are.
Actually,
it
no,
is,
that
you would
escape
change-
artist. Because I'm
Yep,
in a
roll it.
pinch.
Yep. Roll it.
Nope.
God damn it! No, that was still 2 dice. There we go. 2 successes.
Saved by a 6.
Ha!
So a lot of the shots miss because, well, you're dual wielding with you're dual wielding with heavy pistols, and they have rifles. You do manage to get one in the shoulders to disable it, so that's less people firing at you.
Of course, Shia is putting down suppressive fire, Monk, so...
Mhm. It
you like
does.
me-
Yeah, roll.
Okay, all things considered, I'm going to be using Man-at-Arms, obviously. Four successes!
Yeah, you managed to shred the others.
Get some!
And she looks over her shoulder to see how close she is to the truck, and she makes a jump. Drive!
Let's boogie!
And
Move it, Finley.
she grabs the tailgate just as Finley hits the gas.
Well, more like the... Since
Actually-
this is a Bradley, it's an APC, and it's more like a gate that falls down that you can walk into, and then we fold it back up.
Yeah, and I was already starting to go the moment you guys had both your feet on the ramp, so...
I mean, a Bradley's not an APC if I want to be technical as an IFV, but that's a whole other matter.
Hey, APC, IFV, both fill nearly the same role. these
APCs
days.
don't have guns.
That's not true. There are plenty of APCs.
We need to
with
get
guns
into
these
semantics
days.
right this
Rails.
second.
But what you get as you guys continue on, you do pass by the the crash site of one of the ships that was shot down, the Minosa.
Dang, I was hoping it was a mimosa.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Kate here is going to look around. Are there any vehicles in the area that she could possibly jumpstart if need be?
they're completely trashed,
Damn.
most, but you do find that the railgun is still functional.
Okay. All right. So she's going to make a break for the down ship, the Minosa,
Mm-hmm.
because she's going to get information one way or the other.
So she jumps out of the fucking.
Yes, she's going to jump out of the fucking truck. I will catch up. Get to the drop zone.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
She
really need
is,
this right now? We're trying to stay together here.
Yeah, she is like, you should probably not do that. You don't even know if that's gonna go critical soon.
Do we want to know what the enemy's movements are or what?
Isn't the Mimosa one of ours and not theirs?
Yeah, it's
So-
it's a binary class class cruiser.
It's useless
Damn it,
for
never
us
mind.
on that purpose. So get back in the get back
No,
in the
but
truck.
the railgun the railgun still works.
Yeah, but what would we use it for? And how would we mount it to our truck?
You wouldn't mount it. You just you could just fire at a certain ship that's carpet bombing the city.
All right.
In which case, I'm gonna.
If that's the case, it's gonna have to be either Shia or Dave.
Don't think I've ever used a railgun before.
It'll be Shia. He's done naval training. Well, not on this specific class of cruiser.
All right. So,
You worked on one cruiser. What you worked on them all. But
Kate here looks over at him. There's a railgun on the ship.
it's still functional.
From what I can see.
Finley, turn towards that ship.
Roger.
As
And
you
that's
get,
what I'm
as
like.
you-
All right, Shia, let me take over the thing so you can get the gun.
Got it. Walking into the front cabin, so now that I'm riding shotgun, I also look back at Kayon for a second. I'm gonna need my ferret back.
She tosses it to him and tosses her own too, just in case.
He catches them both, tosses hers back to her. I'm like, I only need one. It's bad to use two at the same time.
Yeah, trust me, I can feel it. And she rubs at her left shoulder a little bit because her right's already trained to handle it.
He chuckles under his breath a bit and goes, "Such a tomboy." under his breath, almost no one can hear him except for Finley. And so with that, as we close in on the crashed cruiser, Shia just directs Finley to slow down a little bit, enough that he can just kind of dive and roll,
Mhm.
and then tells him, "Keep going, get to the LZ. I'm gonna see if I can clear us some air, an air opening, yeah, window." There we go. That's the word.
Before he jumps, Uanye grabs Shia by the arm, hands him her last charge, just in case.
Explosives. Nice. And then he goes. So, while Shia hasn't worked directly with this ship a lot, he'd obviously know where fire control is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Shia makes his way into the ship through whatever means that there is still safest. You know, even if it's a torn hole in the hull, if there's no sparking and fires, it's probably safe there. But he does put on a helmet,
Mhm.
like a full helmet, just in case there's smoke, etc.
There are flames on different parts, so that does make the terrain a bit treacherous. So I'm gonna need you to make a roll.
Okay. Shia will be using. Let me see what would be the most.
While you're doing that, I've got to make a little run. I will be right back.
All right.
I think Shia is going to be using omniprescience for this, so that he can detect the danger as he's going. Once again, I'm the one going out on the front like this, Monk, so I am in my element with Exemplar.
All right.
And so I will roll with Edge. That's not very nice. Why did the dice gotta hate me? So there's probably some difficulties getting around. It's going to take me a little
Yeah.
longer.
It is, but you do eventually get to fire control.
Okay.
And
How much of it is still functional?
the gun battery is kaput. The main cannon, though, that is still fully operational, but you're only getting one shot. After that, it's going to be out of energy.
Okay. Are any of the targeting computers still around, or is this a full-on manual shot?
This is the normal targeting assist is not operational, so you're going to have to do manual aiming.
Okay. So Monk, again, leading by example, and I think shooting down the ship at the head of all of this would you count that as headhunter?
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is a bit pretty big head I am hunting.
You are essentially trying to shoot down a capital ship.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then I guess I go with advantage. So she recognizes that the targeting assist and automated targeting are completely down, and sits in the targeting chair for the manual targeting chair for the main battery. He takes very careful aim, looks at this large capital ship that is at the head of this bombing run. It's moving rather slow because it's a bombing run, and well, it doesn't think it needs to move fast because it's shooting everything else down with its escort vessels.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes aim at the fold reactor for the ship. This is specifically at the fold reactor. He's going to use man-at-arms. That's that, or there's others that might apply, but this is the one with the best chance.
All right.
4 successes because the 5 counts as 2.
6.
6
Oh.
successes.
Wait a minute. On my side, I only see 4. Hold on.
Look in the chat. It says 6 successes.
I know. I'm like, what? Wait a minute.
Roll 20.
Because 5s and 6s count twice. You rolled with advantage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. I'm fine. I get it. I get the number. I'm good. We're good. I'm good.
Yeah, 5s and 6s.
All right. So
count.
So aiming right at the fold engine itself.
Mm-hmm.
She perks up a little smirk. There's a little glint across the mask inside the helmet, and he says, "Got you, you motherfuckers," and clicks the trigger.
Everybody in the vicinity hears a loud boom as the main gun goes off, and it manages to do a direct hit against the ship. And when I say a direct hit, I mean it goes right through. And
I've just ruptured their fold drive. They're about to blow up into folding space.
yeah, you see a massive explosion, and then the explosion folding in on itself,
Carrying their escort vessels with them.
Yeah.
Of course, I look up and see this going off, and I go, no matter how many times I see that, it always looks glorious.
She of course immediately evacuates that ship because it's now become a prime target, and is looking to intercept the truck, since the truck has to go on roads. He knows where it has to pass, obviously.
Yep. But but in the process, you guys do hear a bunch of chatter, and you see a a dozen smaller ships, along with um a lot more mechs, including several second generation Veritech fighters coming in to provide assistance. Since now that the heavy cruiser has been taken out of the picture, um, the the ASC can actually bring in reinforcements to help assist with taking the city.
Yep. That reminds me. Shia, after having shot down the heavy cruiser, and as he's jogging towards a part of the road he thinks he can catch the truck on. Uh, Hannibal Command, this is First Lieutenant Jeddag. I'd like to report that the heavy cruiser bogey is down along with its escorts. Over.
Good work. We should ASC reinforcements should be coming in momentarily to provide some cover. We should be able to give you proper evac.
Understood. We're moving to the bay since it's the most open area in the city.
Roger that.
First Lieutenant Jeddag, over and out. Of course. Eventually, obviously, I head off the truck, humorously holding my helmet under one arm and thumb out to the side on the other, as Finley is coming towards me.
As we pull up, I just shout out to him, need a lift there, hitchhiker?
I could use some. It's been a long and tiring day, you know? Start shooting with a fucking ship.
Nice job up there. Hop in.
Yeah, so she hops back in. And then turns to everybody. Animal Command is going to be sending our evac into the bay. I've informed them we were already headed in that direction. And of course, they've already looked up, seeing all the reinforcements. And I think this area is going to be a little bit better now.
Good. You made it.
In the back of the truck, Kate here is going to look at our unexpected companion. And she hesitates for a second. You can understand English.
Mm-hmm.
What is your name?
My name is. You can call me the Diva.
Ed mutters under his breath. Isn't that fitting?
All right. So, just to clarify, Nihilus is not just one person, but he's a bunch of clones.
Nihilus is a legion.
Oh, great. One of those kind.
Shia looks back. Does he have purple hair like yours and look like this guy? Shia had taken some photos just because it's good to have information. Except this photo is literally just one of the severed heads. It's not on the body.
He's a bit recoiled at seeing a severed head and goes, kind of.
Shia goes, yeah, we ran into some of them. They shut down when you kill enough of them, apparently.
He's
I look over
very
and
much.
Shia goes, have some tact, man.
He's very much not comfortable, but he's cooperating because well, it's either work with you guys or clearly get shot at.
Why were they shooting at you? Why did they shoot your vessel down, more specifically?
Because they need me.
And they tried to kill you? I'm a little on the confused side.
Shia pipes in. They likely need him, and if they can't have him, nobody can. If they kill him, nobody else can use him.
Yeah, they probably think that we might be able to use them for something. All the more reason why we need to bring them back.
She looks at the diva. I can guarantee you, in the name of the ASC, that you will not come under any harm while in our care. At least no harm that we would intend. Stubbing your toe is not something we can generally protect you from.
Mhm. Yeah. Eventually, you guys do see a large cruiser with the liveries of the ASC start to come into play. And as you look, you see your ride out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, the spirit of Carthage.
Theo looks up. Sorry? I didn't know they were using these yet. Because, remember, she had trained on these things.
Mm-hmm.
We're
This
still
is a
experimental
Pulsar
enough.
class light cruiser. And
Like a light cruiser.
along with it come a group of gunships to help get you on the ship and get you out of the fighting. Um, as you, in order to get you out of here and onto another base. And that is where we are going to take 10.
All right, you heard it here, folks. It is time to get your drinks, get your snacks, use the little boy or girl's room. We will be back in 10 minutes. See you then.
back, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, and some of you may notice. Wait, didn't the visuals change? Yep, they most certainly did. They most certainly did.
Now we're in a giant loading bay.
Mm-hmm.
Which figures? We just came onto a light cruiser.
Yep. And again, the Spirit of Carthage is a Pulsar class light cruiser. So as far as size wise compared to other um, compared to other mechs, not other mechs, other vessels, I should say. I would say it's the size of a capital ship, though significant. I'd say significantly smaller. I'd say probably around the same size as White Base. If I have to make a Gundam reference.
I mean, White Base is a fairly large ship in universe at the time that it's around, though.
Yeah, but when I'm thinking capital ship sizes, I'm thinking the SDF series, which is fucking massive.
Monk, the SDFs are specifically dreadnoughts.
Mm-hmm.
They are the largest class of capital.
Yeah, this is a light cruiser, so bigger than a Corvette, obviously, but not as big as a full-on battle cruiser.
Mm.
Probably a destroyer.
I mean, I'm not sure what the sizes are in Macross and Southern Cross in the Robotech universe. What the standardization is. A light cruiser in, like, if we look in our own navies, is a medium-sized warship. It's So it's not going to be the biggest, baddest thing on the seas, but it is going to still be pretty bad, pretty big and bad.
Mm-hmm. Pulsar classes are meant to be multi-role ships that could be refitted quickly.
So it would be a larger ship then, because if you're going to be able to refit it in ways that it can fill multiple roles, it's going to need a lot of modular space.
Yeah. Lengthwise, it is 190 meters.
It's pretty big. Quite a bit of displacement.
And it is considered the workhorse of the ASC naval fleet.
Yeah, so it would be pretty big, but it would probably be considered the medium, just the medium middle of it all, which is which figures.
Yeah. And as far as though this isn't going to be one of the variant versions of it, simply because of the fact that it's not equipped for that. This is just the default loadout. But with that said, after loading up and taking your exit from the Pacific Ocean entirely, you end up overhearing that you guys are heading to the other half of the Eurasian continent and getting out of the Pacific Ocean region. And as far as where you guys are headed, a certain city called Vladivostok.
Vladivostok?
Yep.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, you guys are going from Japan all the way to Russia.
Nice.
specifically because there's going to be a base there. It does mean that I'd say you're going further north compared to where you guys were in Neo Tokyo. And in fact, you're basically just going to the other side of the Sea of Japan. But it is still going to be quite a trip. It's going to even with the speed of this cruiser, it is still going to take you several days. In the aftermath, as you guys disembark, some of the officers take the hard drive that you had recovered, and it's placed in a sealed container. In the meantime, you are given directions to the barracks, which are standard barracks, a little bit nicer than some of the ones you've been in because they're not in bombed out places. The spirit of Carthage is still well maintained. And in the meanwhile, you guys end up heading to one of the specific areas for debriefing. As you wait in the room, you see someone else approach, a very large man, who's been actually, no, and I think I missed. You end up seeing a large man as well as a younger East Indian woman along with him. As far as the first individual, that would be this woman. And
All right.
the man looks over you before taking his leave, leaving you alone with her, saying, My name is Milana Pirana, captain of the Spirit of Carthage, and therefore the people you will be answering to from here on out. Be seated.
She sits down and, but beforehand just says, "Nice to meet you, Captain Prana, First Lieutenant Shia Jeddah."
Jeddah, I've heard of you.
That's surprising. Not
You
sure.
You see that she's got what looks like a data pad in her hand. And you get the feeling that as much of this is a debriefing, it's also an evaluation. So while she's looking everyone over, she says, "Keep that person on a short leash." As you all turn to the back, you see that the diva had followed you the whole way here.
Looking back at the diva and at the rest of Hannibal team, and then over to the captain, we were unable to make any connection with Hannibal Command as to the particular tack we should take with them. So at this time, protective custody is still in our hands.
At this point, David pipes up. And actually, have I ever met Captain Prana before?
None of you have met her before.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and instead of this, I was thinking either connections, but instead I'm gonna invoke valued opinion with my experience over the years, willing to bet she's probably heard of some of my escapades. Captain Prana, with the situation as it is, we've come to understand that this person here, who identifies herself as the diva,
Him.
mu-
He chimes in. Him.
oh yeah,
Remember, I
who
made the joke
identifies
earlier about him being a femboy.
Yeah, I know. I see the face, and this is a bad habit of mine.
Just fabulous.
This person who identifies themselves as the diva seems to be a valuable asset and doesn't want to be involved as that asset. I think it would be in our best interest to keep them protected and away from the enemy force. They may not be as dangerous as you suspect.
I don't like excessive eyes in any sort of meeting. This is supposed to be a debriefing. But I will allow it, and I will trust your judgment, Sergeant Carswell.
Thank you, Captain.
Now then, you see her lean back as she pulls out the data pad. Looking over what Agent Vici has given you, this seems to be a very interesting bunch. So I do have a couple questions. First and foremost, being I assume that the data recovery was successful.
Yes, Captain, it was.
Did you make sure to have the data core destroyed when you evac'd?
Yes, Captain.
It's fine. I realize that it's unorthodox to have you deal with this sort of thing in the middle of a war zone, but this is the situation that we're in. We all have to do the best we have with what is left. Now, with that in mind, I was not made privy to your inclusion into Hannibal team. So as far as I'm concerned, I need to take some time to evaluate whether or not I should keep you on in barracks or in the brig. Now,
Are you talking about all of us or just her?
all of you. Well, I have never met Sergeant Carswell, but at the very least, I can trust him on his reputation. He does have quite the record when it comes to combat experience, even if his experience has left with a few incidents. He looks right at David when he. She looks right at David when he says that.
And of course, I can already imply what she's getting at, and I just give her this look like, don't you even dare bring that up.
I have to say, Captain, I'm quite concerned that you weren't informed of our arrival. I was assured by my previous post's XO that the transfer orders had already been sent, received, and confirmed.
My predecessor was the one who did any confirmation, and he is no longer with us, which means command falls to me.
Okay. I
Now
understand your trepidation there, Captain.
That is good. That is good to hear. Now then, let me begin. She looks right at Shia and says, "Shia, Derek.
Yes.
The self call sign Leovan Leovan the self-proclaimed Red Lion.
Yes, ma'am.
An impressive track record, especially in the academy. I'm especially impressed that you managed to make the rank that you did with with a record 14 charges of insubordination during your academy days.
If you'll check those charges and why they were always dismissed, ma'am, it was insubordination in the face of orders that would have led to worse outcomes.
I need. I'm certain there were circumstances, otherwise you would not have that rank. What I need to know is that I can be assured that if said circumstance manifests itself, that you will be able to do what is assigned to you and not play at commander.
I can assure you that I will always complete the mission to the best of my abilities.
Now, I have heard some. She looks right at you and goes,
Still wearing
she,
a mask and everything. She must be really suspicious.
I would at the very least like to see the face of the person who is going to be under my command. Take the mask off.
Ma'am, the mask helps filter light. I have a tetrachromat set of eyes. If I do so, you will be blinding me and causing me incredible pain.
Very well. I expect. Just keep in mind that someone wearing a mask like that might put a few of your fellow soldiers on edge. But I'm certain you've heard this before.
I have, ma'am. I understand the concern. But I believe that my conduct and character can inspire trust in those people that I.
We will see. We will see on that, Lieutenant.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, a further as much as it sounds like I'm interrogating you over past incidents, I merely want to assure that I'm not dealing with an unstable element in my command.
I understand that, ma'am. I was informed by my previous XO that Hannibal team is somewhat of a special operations team that does whatever's needed wherever it's needed. We need to make sure to have stable elements that can keep the team going without anybody else dying.
It's good that you're aware of that. The last thing that's needed here is a glory hound.
All for Earth, ma'am. All for Earth.
Now then, she looks at Dirge and says, Sergeant Dirge Findley,
Yes, ma'am.
graduate of the officer corps with high graduate of the engineer corps with high marks, son of Robert Findley, who has the rank of a warrant officer.
You can see
Your
him bristle as you say that name.
Your father, your mother, and your two brothers all attended the officer academy, and yet you chose engineering. I would like to know why.
I'm better with machines, ma'am.
And you being better with machines was the reason you chose to not go down the family path. I see. Now then, even with that, I have heard a few reports of you providing some extra modifications onto different mechs in your previous posts. I certainly hope you're not trying to intentionally overclock mechs. That could lead into some very unfortunate circumstances if those mechs were pushed too far.
I'd never put any of the soldiers in danger, ma'am.
Well, there was also a comment from a researcher with one of the previous cores in your service record, stating that you were far too much of a hothead. Is this the case, or is this just talk?
I prefer to let my results speak for themselves rather than words of someone who is jealous.
Hmm. I've also heard that you were working on something special, a third generation Veritech.
You can see his eye perk up at that. I guess you've gotten the clearance to hear about that then.
We'll see.
Chia
We'll
also is his eyebrow in the corner, thinking to himself, a third generation heretic. Might have to get some training on that one.
Regardless, you'll certainly have. The only thing I ask is that you do not treat the mechs in my ship's hangar as your own personal experiments. Am I clear?
Understood, ma'am.
And then she finally turns to Kathir.
One second,
Kathir.
Monk. 1 second, Monk. I'm sorry. I'm being mom duties.
Might as well go with Dave instead.
Sergeant Carswell. Obviously, you have the most experience here. Let me ask you
Indeed, ma'am.
this: why did you choose to join Hannibal? You could have had your free reign to join any branch of the ASC, and yet you specifically requested a transfer to Hannibal team. I want to know why.
It's very simple, Captain. I know where I'm needed. Just like every single member of this crew knows where they're needed. May I speak frankly with you for a moment, Captain?
Granted.
Is this your first time in this kind of command position?
No.
All right. I get the sense that you like to keep things by the book as much as possible. Am I wrong?
I keep things by the book, but I am not slavish to keeping things by the book. Rather, I keep things by the book, not by the Bible.
That's good, actually. That's a commanding officer I can respect, because I've seen what happens when someone is slavish to the book to that level, and it never ends well. Seen these three in action myself in this mission. Excuse. And while their methods may appear unorthodox, and they step out of bounds, I also know that they've never crossed the line. They know where the line is, and they make sure that what they're doing is for the betterment of the mission, for the betterment of Earth. And already, after just one mission with them, I already feel I can trust them with my life. And I can assure you, as someone who has seen what happens when that trust ends up going wrong, I would not put that trust lightly.
Very well.
All right, I'm back, by the way.
And then you see her, and an interesting thing to note. And you probably picked this up just by her appearances. Captain Prana is much younger than Carswell. She's in her late 20s.
She's the same age as Leoban.
It's why I asked about her experience as a commanding officer, since that was the vibe he was getting just by looking, not just immediately by her age, but also how she talked.
Yeah. But she then looks towards Kay here. Sergeant Ulanye.
Uwanye, ma'am.
Gaelic, a very tricky language. Anyways, I suppose the first thing I should be asking is why a member of the GMP volunteered for a military unit.
Because I'm the best at what I do, ma'am. And if it's information you need, then I'm the person to get it.
He at this point speaks out. Wait, Sergeant Uanya is not from the ASC.
No, she is a sergeant within the global military police.
Hold up,
Ma'am.
mom duties again.
Yeah. And I've noticed the livery on their uniforms and on like Captain Prana's uniform and such. How it's also GMP livery, correct?
Yeah,
Ma'am, is this vessel not from the ASC?
Hannibal is a mixed operation. There are members of ASC and there are members of GMP within its ranks. That was always the intent.
Okay. My EXO never informed me of that particular detail. I apologize for interrupting. I was seeking clarification.
Understood. This is most certainly an unorthodox affair.
Say that again. The GMP and the ASC almost never intermix in universe.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and it was believed that pooling resources into one unit would be a way for it to move and be where it's needed in a far more efficient way than if bureaucratic issues were to come up between departments.
Sorry, Jane, I had a slip and fall.
No worries.
All right.
I understand that. Thank you very much for the clarification, Captain Pana. Again, sorry to interrupt your conversation with Sergeant Lanya there.
But even with that, I'm curious why I'm curious as to what would prompt a information specialist to join a more active unit.
Are we all not trying to survive, ma'am?
So it's survival, and that's your reason.
I know that might sound crazy, but it's not my own survival that I'm looking to assure.
We'll see regarding that. Now then, onto the matter of that. This is certainly something that we don't have a whole lot of precedence for. We've never had a member of the Masters outright come to us. According to the report, this diva seeks our protection against an organization called the Nihilist Legion.
Uwanye pops to attention and goes, "Ma'am, may I interject?
Continue.
It is not a... The best way I can explain it, ma'am, it's not a legion of individuals. It is a single individual that is cloned. It is just one entity."
And yet they would go so far as to try and shoot down one of their own ships and shoot down this person, according to the report, just to deal with the problem.
If I may speak, ma'am.
Continue.
based on my own experiences, I suspect that whatever purpose the diva serves would be detrimental to all sides, yet whoever is running this legion is probably too bullheaded to realize that and is seeking to use them for their own goals. Hence why the diva wishes to escape from that. But the legion is also concerned that whatever they could be used for, we could also use. Thus, if they can't have them, neither should we.
Well, given that, I will trust your judgment on the matter, and I will give my blessing for him to be housed in one of the barracks. But I want assurances that there's going to be some degree of eyes on him at all times. Which means, and she points at all four of you, he's going to be rooming with one of you.
Ma'am, not to intercede, as the only female here, I think it would not be prudent for him to room with the only female on the Hannibal team.
Well, you're out of character. You're not the only female on the Hannibal team, just in this unit. Hannibal's a much bigger organization.
Alright, as the only female member of this unit, I don't think it would be prudent to have a male civilian board rooming with a female staff.
Very
I
well.
would be willing to volunteer to watch over them myself.
Which, very well. Then you're going to be keeping an eye on him and yanking the leash if need be. And as she's explaining this, the diva looks right at Kathier and sticks his tongue out.
One more second.
Might want to yank that leash now.
Yeah,
Which
at this point, I look over at the diva and go like, and I give him, since I'm the father figure of the group, I just give her the fatherly watch. It's just that look of watch it.
Okay. He immediately backs off because while he has some measure of trust that he'll be kept alive here, he also finds some of you scary.
And as soon as they back off, I turn into a gentle, warm smile. It was just like, better.
But
yeah, Kahir doesn't even give him the satisfaction of reacting.
But eventually, after the debriefing is handled and you all go your separate ways, Kathier is stopped by Vici, stating, asking, "Stop for a moment. I need to talk to you."
All right. Okay. Kahir comes to a quick stop, and at the same time, I am going to use machinations or machinations
For what?
to I'm just going to have it at the ready, more specifically.
You only roll when you're doing something.
Damn it.
But he goes,
How
Look.
can I help you, Agent?
"Look, I know you're from the IB. I know that they have their reputation. When he says this, he's looking straight at you and simply going, are not you. I know the story you get. I know full well the story you gave you gave Captain Prana. I also I also have a feeling that like anybody else in the IB, you are mixing truths with less truths. I'm not
Perhaps
going to pry into what it is, but make sure that it's something that isn't going to compromise this ship.
I would never do such a thing, Agent. And for that matter, it's like I told the captain. The assurance that my family survives is what I'm working toward. And if I can supply the Hannibal team with the information that we need to end this war, to assure that my family does survive, I'll do whatever it takes.
Is that the reason you were doing a little bit of extracurricular work on that computer core?
My brother's missing, Agent. I was just hoping to find something, anything on him. Because he's the last remaining member of my family.
You see him glare glare right at you, but it's not anger, but it looks like he's staring right into you, and simply says, "Make sure your priorities are in order." That's all.
Understood.
After that he walks off. It is it is clear that he's someone who can see right through somebody's bullshit, even if he doesn't say it.
I mean, there I was telling the truth. So. Or at least the truth that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm. But as you after you all end up heading into your respective barracks, which are relatively plain because well they're barracks on a ship. Um, there is a bit of I'd say a bit of amusement because instead of the diva getting a bed, he gets an air bed.
I
I mean, we
mean,
weren't expecting us to have any more than one person in there, so.
Unfortunately, it also means he's got to blow the thing up himself. So David has to put up with about a minute's worth of complaining as he has to blow as to. Fortunately, he doesn't have to blow the thing up like you'd blow up a balloon manually. He just has to use the pump.
After they finish up, I'm going to be sitting them down and having a nice little chat with them, setting some ground rules about how things are going to work. They want to not be thrown into a prison cell.
Okay,
So basically,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, this right now it's just the two of us in the room. Like, all right, listen. I understand this is all completely out of the norm for you, and that you're probably just based on how you're dressed and how you act. You're probably not used to the more sterile environment of a military vessel like this. Am I right?
He nods while trying to fill up the thing.
I get it. It's crazy, and it's a lot more strict than you're used to, but listen. As long as you follow the rules and don't act out, we will keep you safe. I understand that's the harsh reality is coming for you, and you're not going to like a lot of the things you're going to probably end up having to do here. But you stick with us, we'll make sure that even these knuckleheads over here don't mess with you. And trust me, they will try. I've met plenty. That's why I volunteered to watch over you, because I can tell that this is all going to be quite the shock. You need someone who understands what shocks are like if you want to survive.
Very well.
Listen to me. You'll get through.
he thinks on it for a moment and just nods. And as soon as he's finished up getting the airbed to capacity, you see that he just plops on the thing and he's out like a light.
David just lays back in his bed and goes, "Oh boy, I think we're in for an interesting experience here."
Really quick, there is a knock on David's door.
Mm-hmm.
Honey.
And enter.
Kahir steps into the room. Figured you might need some extra blankets and pillows.
Oh, much appreciated. Yeah, though. Seems like they're already getting accustomed. Points over to the already passed out diva.
Here, just lift his head up real quick.
And of course, as gently as I can, I lift their head up.
Kahir gently, as gently as she can, she shoves a pillow under his head so that way David can let it flop, and she rolls out a blanket over him. Thank you.
At the very least, he's not snoring loudly.
That's a blessing. Like I look over at Kathel.
Kahir.
Kahir. I will. Gaelic, I swear to God. Why did you mention the these odd names?
Did you want the same pronunciation guide, John?
I won't study it, and I'm still gonna mess it up anyway. So why bother?
So am I.
You know what? I'm going to give it to you anyway, just for kicks and giggles.
And by the way, I have not given you my name yet. You only know me as Uanye.
No, but I've been hearing during the briefing.
No, she only called me
no,
Sergeant Uanye.
No, she didn't. Monk, back me up here.
No, he never said her real name.
The captain called me by my surname. She never used my first name.
Yeah. And Monk, when speaking out of character, also called her Kahir or Kather, but those aren't her real name.
All right. I know. I'll get used to it anyway. All right. Lanye.
Yeah.
Just be ready for a lot of things, because I can already tell this one's going to be trouble.
I'm going to do my damnedest to get as much information out of him as I can.
More specifically, be gentle with them.
Hey, I'm a big sister. I know how to do it.
I just get the feeling that this whole thing is going to be a lot more trouble than we expect it to be. I've seen this too many times.
That being said, Sergeant, thank you for volunteering to let him stay with you.
No worries. We're family here now. You may not feel that way yourself because you've got your own, I'm sure you have your own family things to deal with. But here's the deal. When you're part of my unit, even if I'm not leading it, I consider you all family. It's been my job to keep my family safe, whether it be from without or within. So, don't worry. Even if you have to go outside the box, I got your back. Just don't do anything stupid.
I know the Gaelic's probably throwing you off. If you're going to call me anything, just call me K, which is short for Kahir, by the way.
Ah, interesting. Okay, it is.
That was not planned, by the way. I'm not even joking.
It really
That's not
wasn't.
planned.
No,
It really wasn't. I went with my lucky number for the name. And Kahir is the Scots Gaelic word for 4.
So that was completely coincidental.
And 4 is the golfer's favorite number.
I just imagine a Gaelic golfer going, "Gay here!"
I would pay to see that.
Yes, yes.
All right. I can try to hit a golf ball while screaming "Get here!" and you'll see what happens. But I do not know how to golf, even though it was invented by a Scotsman. That's another thing. Golf was invented by the Scottish.
Oh, trust
So
me,
is
I've seen
curling.
Robin Williams' special about the whole thing. Yes, I know.
That being said, Kahir gives David a quick nod and sees herself out.
Have a good night, Kay.
Out in the hall, Shia is actually standing against the wall, having been listening in just obliquely because he didn't want to intrude. He looks over at Kaya for a second. It's good that we all get to know each other, and it's good that we all stick up for the kid. He's just gonna call the diva the kid at this point. It's a femboy. Looks like a kid. He's gonna call it a kid. You make sure to get some rest. That last mission was a doozy.
Same could be said for you, Lieutenant. And she cranes her head to the side. Love the mask.
Well. You gotta strike fear in the enemy and inspiration in your fellows. Sometimes all you need is a symbol.
Well, the red demon lion certainly has a good ring to it.
Thank you. You have a good evening, Sergeant Wanya.
Same to you, Lieutenant. And, for the record, sir, your call sign, what was that again?
Leovan, the Lionheart.
If needed, Fionin. And, Kahir... Fionin. And, Kahir just walks down the hall to her quarters.
Understood. Of course, he also returns to his own quarters as well. Although,
She turns around really quick. Lieutenant,
I
where's Finley?
passing by his door, knock, knock, knock. Dirge, you in there?
You know what? I'm trying to get some sleep.
Noted.
Turns back. He's in his quarters.
You guys were afraid that he'd be messing around in the hangar.
Oh, they'd never let him go there.
Exactly. I know better.
And
Of course, for all anybody knows, he had that message pre-recorded.
You've seen Ferris Bueller, haven't you?
Kahir just stops for a second. Lieutenant, can you open his door?
You're a paranoid one. He
Damn
just
straight.
opens the door and looks in. Well,
I'm
Dirge-
actually there.
Yeah, exactly. Closes the door. He's in there.
Good.
Well, at least you can see a lump underneath the bed sheets, but
No, I would have looked at the pillow for a head, not just for a lump.
And made sure it was actually a human head and not just a stuffed doll.
How
Yeah.
about this? He's technically there, but he's only been in there for a few minutes, and already he's putting up notes all over the place about blueprints.
yeah, that's true. That's accurate.
Yeah, so looks in, sees the activity, looks out, he's in there.
Okay. And with that, Kahir is going to go back to her quarters, and she's going to pull up the information that she pulled up on her little thumb drive and just start reading through it.
There's not a whole lot. In fact, about 80% of what you found is either showing data not found, data corrupted, or redacted.
Damn it. I need to find out how to unredact these damn documents. Using heavy encryption, can I, do that?
You are going to need 4 hits in order to do it, but you can try it.
Well, considering that I'm in my element, does that give me edge?
Only edge.
That's why I said edge. Two successes.
Not quite enough.
Damn it.
Oh.
You needed 4. You basically needed box cars to hit that.
Damn it. Ugh. I'll have to
What
try
you
again
are able
later.
to find is that it wasn't a case of being heavily encrypted. There's whole swaths that are just straight up deleted.
Damn it. Keiki closes the screen and lays back against her pillows. Back to square one. Oh, Leon.
But as you guys try to get a bit of rest, and eventually you guys land at the base in Russia. And one of the things that you do note as you get out is, first off, it's fucking cold.
Everybody sees Keiki curled up into herself, her shoulders hunched, her head down, with a beanie, with a scarf, and her teeth are still chattering.
Mm-hmm.
And
You all
Dirge looks
sitting
like
up-
he's comfortable as hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the rest of us are just sitting here just like, did you just... I guess they don't have Arctic training over there?
Sergeant, with all due respect, go eat a bag of dicks. And she's saying this through chattering teeth. Wait, no, hold on. Sergeant? With all due respect, go eat a bag of dicks.
He just starts busting out laughing.
Eventually, you guys head into one of the buildings, and I can see that Kay is making a beeline for the nearest heat vent.
Yup.
Remember, folks, never invade Russia in winter.
Or use the right buttons on your uniform so that your men don't freeze to death.
Mm-hmm. But after settling in, you do end up hearing that there was an attempt at a night attack a few days ago. It was fended off, fortunately, but it may have something to do with the data that was transferred over here. Going with the implication that whatever data was taken from that drive in Neo Tokyo, the masters clearly want it. Now that being said, something that is interesting is, with a lot of the uniforms you're seeing, there's a mixture of elements between the ASC emblem as well as the GMP emblems.
Yep. Which was determined during the briefing when I asked about it.
Mm-hmm. So this is just a full setup. Basically, the reason why it's explained that the reason why you guys are at this particular base is to resupply before your next major movement. Because you guys are going to be heading towards Africa as part of Operation Hell Drop.
Oh, what a wonderful name.
But that is where we're going to leave it off for this particular episode. A bit shorter, but I needed to establish things beforehand. So we will be back. We will be back here next week with the continued adventures, and hopefully everyone survives.
No guarantees, though.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try.
And of course, thanks to everybody who stopped by for a little bit or for the whole way through for the adventures that we have around here. We will be back with that and more in the coming days, as we always do around here on the open bar of the internet. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.